What's up guys, and welcome back to Tech Plant. Today's video is going to put the tech back into Tech Plant. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so I hope these videos end up being valuable for you. I know they don't get a lot of views, but I still think they're good to put out. So probably about 2 months ago I received a light. I've been testing it out, so I just want to give you a gist on kind of what I think about it and what I think is good and possibly bad about it. So let's just hop right into it. Alright, so here's my vegetables. They all look pretty darn great. The only issues I actually did have with this light, which is not a fault of the light, is my tomato plants got rather burned. In most people's setups, especially people who are like growing marijuana or other very tall plants like tomato plants, is you're going to need a much taller enclosure, which is already a known thing. For me, my box is not designed for tomato plants, so they quickly hit the lights and got burned very fast, which is crazy because I did have the settings on quite low because this is a dimmable light. But that being said, my leafy greens are doing very well, and I've actually used this light for a bunch of other tropical plants, and it has done very well. I think this light is probably pretty darn good for anybody growing tall plants. Granted, you have the height space for it, because just between the flowering and vegetative state that it has, it will work very well. My tomato plants continue to flower nicely and produce fruit underneath these lights, but again, I did kind of torch them and I did fail to water them a few times. I've also been growing a banana plant in here, and it is taking very well to the light, so if a tropical plant like this who needs a ton of sun can handle it, I think this is going to do very well for any other tall plant that you would like to grow. For me, this light has pretty good penetration, and again, I've only been using it on half of the power, and that's kind of the big selling point I feel like on this light. So let me kind of show you what I'm talking about, and this way you'll understand. Alright, so here is the most important part. This is what I think makes this light great and awesome and better than the rest, and that is these dimmable switches. So in this footage you can see the watts used per the brightness, just so you can get an idea of what it's like. But again, being able to dim your light and raise your light's output is amazing. When I started to burn my tomato plants, I just turned it down. I don't have to fidget with replacing where the light sits or anything about the enclosure. I can just turn it down a little bit. If I'm growing more vegetative style plants versus flowering plants, I can change my light mixture. I think that stuff is extremely important, and that kind of gives this light the title of one light fits all, or one size fits all, because with this light you can do many different grow styles. You can grow just lettuce, you can grow tons of flowering plants like tomatoes or marijuana. You know, it has what you need, and you can do it in an efficient manner because you get to choose how bright it is based on your grow. And I think that is what makes this light really awesome, and it is exactly why I would recommend something like this, because just the way you can kind of tailor it to your grow is awesome. So again, I got the light in the description if you're interested, but I would highly recommend this because for the cost of it, you do kind of have a one size fits all light, and it can be used in many different applications. Alright, so I hope you really enjoyed that video, and I hope you enjoy this outro because I had to film it like 7 different times because the audio got messed up. But anyways, I really like this light. That dimming switch thing is supreme. It allows me to change things depending on what I'm growing and adjust things very quickly and fine tune it to get perfect efficiencies. Whether you're growing marijuana, tomato plants, tall plants, flowering plants, short plants, I think this light can pretty much do it all. So if you need to if you got the budget for one light, this is probably the light to get because it can allow you to change based on what you're growing, and I really love that. So I hope you guys like this 2-month update. It gives you kind of an idea of what it's like. And always guys, may your plants grow strong and healthy. I'll see you next time.